So in this video, I'll be going over how I go about tackling Mythic Halondrus as a Demo Warlock, and some of the things I do, some of the tactics, I'm following, may not be in line with your raid. Your what do you call? What you do might be a little different. Your positioning in the beginning, your positioning in the second phase may be different, or your second intermission. Maybe you're not responsible for carrying the bombs. I don't know. But anyhow, for the given task, this is what I do for this raid group, and that for those given missions, given tasks, this is what I chose to do to optimize my DPS, optimize my survivability, and so on. Um, so I ended up getting after the kill. So yesterday, it was yesterday, about I don't know, like 12 hours ago or so. I ended up getting 10th place, 13.7k. What is that? No. Yeah, 95th percentile. But, I'm a little bit salty about the result because over the course of like Mythic Halondrus Phase 3 and our wipes, I've been getting much better than that. I've been getting, 14k, 98th, what? 99th, 14k, 0% wipe, 99th. What? More? 99th again, 2% wipe. It just goes on. This one was 12%. So, but anyhow, 99th, and it just goes on. You can check the logs by yourself for what I casted, how many times I've casted, what I pressed at during this specific moment and stuff like that. So I'll be linking the logs down below in the description so you can check out for yourself if you want. But yeah, I ended up getting 95th percentile, but I'm a little bit salty because 0% wipe 99th, and other wipes 99th, 98th, and whatnot. But yeah, but anyhow, what I do is not really any different from the logs that are 99th and 95th. I've been just doing the same thing, but of course sometimes I'll get procs and sometimes I won't, and sometimes I will mess up. Honestly, sometimes I mess up my rotation when I'm not supposed to. Stuff like that happens. So anyway, let's go on with the Mythic Halondrus. I had to show the logs because you know is somewhat adds the credibility of this video, because otherwise you'll be like, hey, who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. His logs, oh, 95th or 99th percentile. Oh, I mean, the number of the logs don't really uh, tell the full story, but at least maybe he has an idea. At least maybe he knows a little bit, a thing or two, you know, about this boss and what you're supposed to do. So yeah, I had to include the logs there, and of course there can be said many things about the logs. Some raids they hold DPS, so some of those players won't really get their proper logs and stuff like that. But anyway, let's go on with what I have to say about this boss and what I do. So the exit gate is right on the right side. Okay, it's on this side, and I position here pretty much like for our raid group, at least. I don't know for your raid group, but for our raid group, the range DPS, they were like, we didn't have to do anything. We 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 were just free casting DPS. So basically, I position myself uh, at a position where I wouldn't have to do anything, where I wouldn't have to hit the orbs at all. In the beginning of the raid, I was hitting all the orbs, like very beginning of the Halondrus attempt, but over the course of attempts, just yeah, none of the ranged DPS were responsible for hitting the orbs. Um, Yeah. So I pre-planned, I pre-positioned, like right here. There's one leg, there's the other leg, and I'm right in the middle. Okay? If you place yourself right in the middle here, and you see 40 range, 40-meter range. I'm at exactly 40-meter range. You can see it in the middle, the number 40, 40, number 40. That's my range display. I believe that's an add-on. So I'm 40-meter range from the Mythic Halondrus. Basically, if you keep 40-meter away from the Halondrus, there's this like rotating thing that goes around that will pretty much like two-shot you. Yeah, you are not supposed to get hit by that at all. So if you keep 40-meter range, you won't get hit by that. So basically, if you keep 40-meter range, you can free cast DPS the whole time. Of course, you will have to move away from like that earthquake thing, but other than that, you don't have to move at all. So 40-meter range, I can free cast DPS. Um, and exit gate is on the right side. Yeah, there you go. So you precast at 4 seconds, and if possible, you also ordered your pet to attack at like 3 seconds. But that's not really huge tip. Yeah, that really doesn't matter. So, you see, I've I already told my pet to attack before even finish casting that what do you call demonic demon bolt or whatever. Yeah, so standard rotation, everybody knows it. Like it's on Discord, it's on Icy Veins and whatnot. Felguard, one Shadow Bolt, dogs, same thing. And that's when I use Ruby. I believe that's the optimal Ruby timing at 40-meter range. We'll have to see. Yeah, this is when I order, when I whisper to give power infusion. Basically, yeah, I'm more comfortable asking for power infusion before summoning the tyrant, so that it helps me to get like 9 imps, 8 imps, uh, tyrant in the beginning. This is 8 imps. Yeah. Right here. Let's see. See? 14 seconds of crit buff. It goes fully on the tyrant, so successful. Ruby timing was successful. And power infusion, 11 seconds, 13 seconds. So, I did ask for power infusion a little too early. Okay. I should have asked 2 seconds later. And I believe stuff like this actually matters a lot. You might be like, oh, well, whatever, No, it matters because of this, your tyrant will be doing the demon bolt, or doom bolt, is it? One or two more and stuff, and that really, I don't know. That to me that matters because one doom bolt is like 20k, right? If it crits, I don't know, it's like 38k. If it doesn't, I don't know, 16k or something like that. I don't know, but that's a huge DPS in my opinion. So I finished casting Tyrant. That's 8 in the beginning, Tyrant, and I'm not using the potion for our raid at least. I don't know for your raid, but um, our raid was told not to use potion. Just hold it, and our raid leader will call it, and that's because we have to see how our DPS is during the second phase to not see the reclaim. So anyway, that's yeah, your raid will tell you what to do. Little unfortunate that my dogs that from the shadow debuff wouldn't refresh. That means my tyrant will be doing 20% less damage, or could have been taking 20% extra damage as an advantage, but not doing it. So as soon as I casted tyrant, what I did was doing the soul rod. That's also important. 8%, 8 seconds of that crit and haste buff. Good. Finish that one cast and move right away to the Dreamweaver, the ground. And that again really matters a lot in my opinion. Along with PI and Dreamweaver haste, your tyrant will be doing Well, 2, 3 more. I don't know. I haven't really counted, but it just what else do I need to do here? I'll be casting Shadow Bolt, dude. This the DPS gain from one Shadow Bolt, oh, that's very, very minimal compared to standing on the Dreamweaver ground. Your Tyrant could have casted one more Doom Bolt. Like, that matters so much more. So, yeah, my mission was right away to move to the ground ASAP. Aiden, Tyrant, Soul Rod, finish one, move right away. Yeah, yeah, this is what I do. Again, no debuff from the dogs, that sucks. And here, my focus is using the dogs ASAP, right away, as soon as it's off cooldown. Yeah, Power Infusion gone. 2 seconds left on Tyrant. Oh, that sucks. That's bad. So it was a bad timing of Power Infusion. I asked a little too early. 2 seconds early, to be precise. And here, what you need to focus on is using the Demonic Core as many times as possible. Using the 3-hand of cooldown, 3 hand of cooldown. Not capping. Because you're gonna get, you see, you already have 3, and in about 3 seconds, you're gonna get 3 more Demonic Core. Fuck, wait. So the whole mission right now is to use Demonic Core as many times as possible while not capping, while doing the 3 M's hand of cooldown, you know? I'm like spamming it. See, I didn't cap. So that's very good. I didn't cap it. Because the dogs came, when the dogs expired, they give you 3 Demonic Core. And just before the dogs gave me the 3 Demonic Core, see, I was at 1. Now this 1 plus 3, 4. So I didn't throw away a charge of Demonic Core. That's very good. So you see, I'm kind of like moving to the back again from the at the end. I moved a little bit back. That's because I wanted to keep the 40-meter range. You see, this won't hit me. Yeah. Right there. See? This won't hit me because I kept the 40-meter range. So I'm just free casting DPS. That's, yeah, very good. But of course, for your raid, it might be different. But this is how we're doing it. Range DPS is free cast. I didn't overcap, that's good. I could have casted 2 Demonic Core in a row, but anyway, it worked out. Here, 20-second left, 6 seconds left on dogs. This is kind of okay. Okay. I used 1 extra Demonic Core, but here, actually, the safer bet would have been casting 2 Shadow Bolts, not using that 1 extra Demonic Core. Okay? Did everybody get that? Okay, that's fine. Now from here, I think it would have been safer to cast 2 Shadow Balls, because by the end of the 2 casts of Shadow Balls, you will have the dogs up. The dogs will be off cooldown. Then use the dogs. When you use the dogs, you will have 3 charges plus 5 shards. That's 9 imps, but also very possible to have 11 imps, because there's a huge chance that you will get at least 1 Demonic Core from 10 imps expiring. You know, there's a good chance that those 10 imps will give at least 1 Demonic Core. But I kind of went a little greedy and went over the top by using 1 extra Demonic Core. So I went in the Tyrant setup with 2 Demonic Core. You know, kind of like betting on that these imps plus 3 imps will give me 2 or 1 Demonic Core. So Yeah.
무슨 그거 안 쳐도 돼요. 내가 쓸게. 내가 쓸게.
Yeah, this is not really ideal because I went in with the dog setup. Okay, but it worked out to be 11 imps because I got lucky. But yeah, don't do that.
준비해. 넘어와요.
Do you see that at the end?
준비해.
I'm trying my best to be
넘어와요.
on that Dreamweaver ground. Right here, that's when the Halondrus moves, that's when he will push you back, okay? But like instead of casting one extra Shadow Bolt right now, I'm moving forward so that I'm not losing that buff on that Tyrant. I just think that this is very important. Like, what else would you be doing? Casting Shadow Bolt. That's very minuscule compared to the damage buff that compared to that one extra possible cast from Doombolt of Doombolt from your Tyrant. Okay, here you just have to move all the way to the right. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to minimize the movement, or the time. I'm trying to not lose DPS. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's much better to be moving while you're casting, right? And you can do the instant cast. So
넘어와요.
I'm trying to here. Okay, the dog's just expired. It's gonna give me 3. So since it's gonna give me 3 like instant cast, I'm doing the Hand of Cooldown so that my shards goes to 1, so that when I use the demonic core it won't be like overcapping. 3. Now I can do two instant casts while moving. That's very good. I'm not losing DPS for moving. 1, 2. Now again, I I don't want to waste these 2. Like, if possible I want to use the shards up, and I want them to fill the shards up. So shards 1. Now 1 plus it's gonna be 3. Now it's gonna have 4 because you just saw the dogs expiring, right? So it's gonna be 4. Again, I didn't overcap the demonic core from
네.
moving. Now 2 because I have to move anyway to my portal. I set the portal up right at the exit, so yeah. 1
발표하고.
portal. Now here, I just let the people with the bomb go through first, so you will see that I'm not moving much to the forward. But here, that's just one of the tactics, but for our raid. But what you want to focus on as a Demon Warlock is obviously using the dogs here.
이 판에 집중 못하면
See,
못
I
잡을 수
let them go first.
있어.
End of cooldown, it's still fine. I don't think I'm not being in the way here because they can just DPS here, or that's a healer. Okay, even if this was a melee DPS, he could be DPSing and then go right on the boss. So Hand of Cooldown, I cast Hand of Cooldown so that I don't I don't waste these demonic cores, because I have to be using the demonic cores when I am moving. Okay, but if I use demonic core, it's gonna give me 2 shards up. But right now I don't need 2 shards. You know, it'll be overcapping it. So here now, you see, now I use demonic core when I have to move. That's fucked up. That's just me fucking up. I was pressing H. H is my gate, but I fat fingered and pressed G. So I feared. Yeah. That's by the way, that happened only once in all of the wipes that I've done on Mythic Halondrus. So, and that's the kill attempt, and that happens. Wow. Again, that's my first time ever, and that happened to be the kill. So gate.
업그레이드 준비.
I use the gate here because it's beneficial to me. It covers a lot of distance over just walking. But not just that, my raid told me to do it, so I'm doing it.
예.
Here, Okay, go
들어.
down. Now here, I could be casting one demonic core here, but it's much better to cast one hand of Golden right here. Do you know why? Because you're gonna have the knockback, and when you're knocked back, you can't be casting. But however, you can cast instant spells. So you cast Hand of Gul'dan right at the edge, because since you're gonna get knocked back soon, and when you are knocked back, use the demonic core, instant cast. That's minimizing your loss in DPS from like being forced to move.
어.
See? Hand of cooldown.
넉백.
Now knockback. Now you use demonic orb.
해제.
Does everybody get that?
회복.
Like the point of using the instant cast. Here,
넉백.
now what I want to focus on here is using the dogs ASAP. The reason for using the dogs right now ASAP is because when you get to the second phase, when the Halondrus reaches the second phase, you will have the dogs up, and you will see what I mean by using the dogs ASAP right now. It's very important to use the dogs right now.
해제. 회복.
Dogs right away. Yes. Now using the dark pack was it? Yeah, dark pack. For the this thing. Missile. One of them go down. Okay. Nothing
Okay,
too
맞고.
different. Now here, you want to position yourself right here. Well, I mean, it depends. It depends on which bomb you'll be picking it, right? But at least for our group, at least for me, uh, uh, it was it was just perfect for me to position right here. So I'm not at the right position, but I'll be moving to here, and that's the perfect position. Of because with the knockback, you will just see what I mean. Now here, I'm casting. My aim is to cast 2 Shadow Bolts. Because I'm gonna have 3 Demonic Core, and I have the Felguard up, Tyrant up, just everything up. So right now, I don't want to use Demonic Core. The point of that using that dogs that early was to have the cooldown up when I'm about to do the huge Tyrant setup. But also on top of that, the point of that was to give me 3 Demonic Core, so that I can go in with the Tyrant setup with the 3 Demonic Core. Okay?
넉백 준비.
1. See, I position myself here. 2. That's very good. Use the instant cast of Felguard while in the air. 1 more Shadow Ball. See, dogs come out right at the perfect time. Felguard, 1 Shadow Bolt, and dogs timing. Perfect. And a cooldown. And a cooldown.
뭐 됩니다.
Ruby. I told Chris to PI me. The whole point is as long as my Tyrant gets the full crit buff uptime on the Ruby, plus my Power Infusion gets fully on the Tyrant, your mission is success. And also doing the 11 imps. As long as you can do that, then you're doing it fine. Doesn't matter if you do it differently, as long as you can get these up. Perfect. It's just, yeah, I didn't lose any crit buff. The Ruby came in right at the perfect time. 15 seconds is gonna be fully on the Tyrant. Yeah, I have 4 Demonic Core. I can just spam imps, and they won't be losing the energy from casting it. It's just perfect. I have 4 Demonic Core, and it's perfect. Just imp spam now. You see, the reason why I position myself like from the before that specific here is so that I can position myself. Where you want to position is like, okay, there's this one dark, like, darker ground here, 1 row of darker ground, and there's 2nd row of darker ground. I want to position myself like about this area. This area, probably not. It's gonna be where the orbs are gonna spawn, so around here is probably the best. see I'm moving while casting the dogs because dogs is instant cast. You see I'm moving here, and when the Halondrus reaches, he pushes you back. So when he pushes me back, I'll be already here. That's good. You know, that's where I want it from the start anyway. So this is perfect. He pushes me back, and I naturally move
뭐
to that second
때문이야?
round. This is all planned. Okay, I'm not. This is not an accident. All planned. The reason why I want to be in this position is because it avoids, of course, here. I mean, it won't activate until here, so it doesn't matter. But I'm not in the position to move away due to these rotating things. One and two. You know, it just won't cover me. You see that? I'm not in their way. I'm right in the middle. And on top of that, you know, I won't be in the position of that orb. The tank needs to aim the razor at them. So I won't be in the in the way of that. But also I'm positioning to the middle to the right side more rather than here at where the exit gate will be. Exit gate is like over this side because my mage for our raid, my mage is supposed to pick up the bomb first, and this area right here, you know, that this is where the bomb spawns. Oh, right here. I think that's my mage's bomb. Okay, my mage will pick up the bomb and drop it like here around this area. That's what he always does. So I'm already positioning myself to here, you know, from the start because he will be picking up the bomb first anyway, and he will be moving here anyway. So I'm moving myself up here in the beginning so I can just free cast DPS. You know, this is all pre-planned. Sometimes he messes up and he won't be dropping the bomb over this side and rather like this side. I don't know. Maybe he was just being greedy with the DPS or whatnot. But so you just need to keep in mind of the map and you know be aware of your mage's position. You know, I put the focus on here. He's right here, but I mean that doesn't really matter. He doesn't really mess up. Yeah, for the DPS part, DPS rotation part, nothing changes.
미사일 준비.
Just yeah, good cast. I got full duration of that Dreamweaver ground buff, haste buff
해제.
on the Tyrant. So good. I didn't use the potion because my raid leader didn't call for it. I guess he saw that our raid DPS is pretty good right now. So that means that actually our raid could have casted I could have used potion in the first phase. Because if you use potion in the first phase, it will come up in the third phase. But again, you know, yeah, it's just how things are. Our raid leader can't predict the future all the time, so yeah. Well, just it's so always frequent. I don't know if it's 100% of the time, but it's so frequent that the Halondrus puts the orbs up like at where his legs are. I don't know if that's intended or I don't know if this is right 100% of the time, but anyway, the orbs always come up like around this area, that area, sometimes even like this area here. But anyway, this is pretty safe place. Now, what my mage partner and I are trying to keep in mind of is moving, you know, gradually moving the bombs to the gate area. Okay, you just free cast DPS, but while casting DPS, when you have the instant cast of spells, you're moving to the left, so that you know you're preparing for the dribble of the bomb during the second intermission. Here,
미사일.
where I want to place my bomb is where the rotating thing will be coming towards. So if I place it like right now, about half a second later here, then that's perfect. The mage can pick it up because the rotating thing will go all the way around, all the way around, and by the time it comes up, I mean the the mage has to pick up the bomb. However, if I were, for an example, were to put the bomb in the middle, right here, okay, there's that's one set of rotating thing. The other set of rotating thing is a little far up there, okay? You can't see it, but it's up there. And that positioning of those rotating thing are this area and this area. So it's risky if I were to put the bomb here, this row, because the rotating thing uh, might be going to the bomb right at the time when the bomb is about to explode, and that's bad. You see, so the best positioning of the bomb dropping is like where the rotating thing is about to come up, or of course, way beyond it.
미사일 준비.
That's what I do.
미사일.
Well, I guess it would have been. It doesn't have to matter, but it's something to keep in mind, right? It's something to keep in mind of not dropping the bomb in the timing of where the rotating thing will be going through. Because there were one or two attempts where I dropped the bomb where this thing was coming up right at the time when the bomb is about to explode, and yeah, it just wasn't pretty. So this is what I've been keeping mind of.
각고 정보.
Maybe just moving a little bit. And
각고
while
정보.
I move, I use
7,
my
6,
instant
5,
cast.
4, 3, 2, 1, 땡. 넘어갑니다.
Okay, the setup isn't perfect. I used the dogs when I had one demonic core. The tyrant was at like 12-second cooldown. That's fine. Tyrant cooldown 12 seconds. You can go on with the tyrant setup, but you should have 3 demonic cores when you're doing the setup. So here, right here, I think what I should have done here, I kind of like panic, I guess, but I I just finished casting Hand of Gul'dan, but this is where I should have held the Hand of Gul'dan and rather casted 2 Shadow Bolts.
미사일.
Let's see again what I mean. The reason why, by the way, using Unending Resolve here is because if I use it here, then I can have it up in the in the third phase. Plus, during the second intermission, that's when when you really need to use personal cooldowns. I can use Start Pack, and that's very good. Again, that's very fine because when it's something you will see, but when I'm doing the soul shape shift, it lasts longer. The dark pack lasts longer and just absorbs the missile. See what I mean? So here I got my 3 demonic core from the dogs, and I believe what I should have done is cast 3 shadow bolts.
각고 정보.
Yeah, this is. I mean, using the Hand of Gul'dan is not a bad idea because your Tyrant is on 23-second cooldown. Okay, it's worth using the Hand of Gul'dan, but I don't have any imps here. When I don't have any imps here, that means I won't be getting any demonic core at all. Of course, unless you're lucky with the Hand of Gul'dan and get, 1 demonic core. So this is a little bit iffy, but okay. But at least from here, I think what I should have done was from here, cast 3 Shadow Bolts, and then use dogs, and then go on with the Tyrant setup. That's what I think I should have done.
각고 정보.
But I used 1 demonic core. So basically, if I were to get 9 in Tyrant, right now, then that means I got lucky.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 땡.
Dogs.
넘어갑니다.
See, I'm going on it. Yeah, I got lucky. See, I got I got 2.
일단 탈 내가 들었어요.
But then again, keep in mind that I have 278. The conduit, is it called conduit or is it covenant? 278 level eye level of that conduit the thing. So I have higher percentage chance of my Hand of Gul'dan granting me 1 demonic core, rather than like some other people who has, I don't know, 252 eye level. Yeah, my mythic plus is like 3200 right now. So, yeah, I was able to purchase that.
일단 늦게 내려놨죠.
So yeah, I'm casting Tyrant. I got lucky with doing the 11 imps, but it really wasn't. So yeah, it was luck, honestly. It was yeah, because my tyrant set up my whole planning with the demonic core, the usage of management of demonic core. I got lucky.
딴 애가 되겠네.
알자리.
됐어, 됐어.
It's important even in like this when it's about to move after tyrant cast your soul rod, even if you know that you won't be standing on it because it's the intermission, you will be moving because you get 5% haste and 5% crit per stack of soul rod on the debuff on the target, so your tyrant will be fully utilizing this buff anyway.
아무리 덮었어.
Here I'm not like moving all the way to the exit gate and standing on it, and trust me, that's because you can't move right now. You see, even if you wanted to, you can't move.
자, 집중하자.
Now, even now, can't move. It's still blocked, by the way. You just know. You just keep on doing it, and you will know that, oh, why can't I move? Why can't I move? That's because even the timing of this is still
예.
not there. Now I
세포 들어갔고.
And by the way, I use Dark Pack and Shapeshift right away. Drop it. Okay. Now here, cast your dog right away. Of course, using dogs every time is on off cooldown. Very important.
해제 봐주고.
My mage is about to pick up.
넉백 준비해.
Planned. This isn't really the ideal. It's not actually. It's not too bad. But ideally, you want to place your bomb here, about here. But then you might be saying, oh, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you put it here instead of there? Because I didn't have the time. And oh well, why didn't I have the time? That's because he dropped the bomb in this timing. So you kind of have to go all the way back if you want to be like saying, oh, why didn't you place the bomb a little further during the second intermission? You know? Just
일단 발 내가 들었어요.
일단 늦게 내려놨죠.
and the mage had to drop the bomb like at the specific moment because I dropped the bomb like that certain timing before that, and then before that, so it's just yeah. But then again, this whole timing may change due to our rate DPS, because of our rate DPS increasing or decreasing for this specific attempt. I could have dropped the bomb a little further during the second intermission rather than that where that whole knockback was gonna be at. So it just depends. You just try your best.
딴 애가 되겠네.
알자리.
See, I picked up at the last
아무리
minute.
덮었어.
자, 집중하자. 이제.
No.
세포 들어갔고.
40 meter,
해제
35
봐주고.
meter range, okay. The chance is still my
넉백
mage has
준비해.
enough time to pick it up, doesn't matter.
들어.
Keep it here.
넉백.
What you want to pay attention to is where my mage is. That's what I want to pay attention to. I know he picked up like here and then he moved here, so this is him. I know this is him. I'm still keeping an eye on where the mage is. I'm looking at the. You might seem like I'm looking at the boss, but I'm looking at the mage this whole time while keeping an eye on not overlapping the earthquake.
됐어, 이번에 미사일.
Here, okay.
폭탄 챙.
Now this is what I
Yeah.
do. I don't know if you do it differently, but what I do is use the gate here. I use my shapeshift movement ability. I have to go all the way to where the knockback is. That's how my raid planned. That's how my mage and I planned. So I have to cast the gate right away and pick up the bomb. It doesn't have to be at the last minute this time. It doesn't matter.
해제.
Yeah, gate.
배달이다. 넉백 앞에 배달.
Oh,
상대-
what the hell? This slows, and this is not that good. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It won't cause us the wipe.
상대방 한 개씩 배려해줘. 옆 사람 봐.
I'm not casting anything. I'm just running this whole time. It's just, it's just what it is.
아.
Now I need to drop the bomb before the knockback, but also I need to keep in mind when I drop the bomb that I'm not like in a way of people like running. because others can accidentally pick up the bomb if I place it like right in right in the way of them, and this can like sort of mess up because I'm not using voice with my mage.
딜하지.
Yep. By the way, my mage is this guy. I just keep in mind of the positioning of my mage, but also we've been doing this a lot. Or is it a lot? I don't know. With I believe this raid did 278 attempts, 270 wipes to kill the boss, but I wasn't really counting. I only saw somebody say it in the raid chat. But I've been always placing my bombs around this area, so my mage already knows it's gonna be around this area, so it doesn't matter. So if my mage can see it or not. The issue that I'm more concerned about is the positioning of other players, so that it doesn't screw up. It doesn't like, mess up the whole, uh, bomb dropping, picking up thing. Lose track of them.
하지 말고 옆선 한 봐.
Okay.
넉백 준비. 들어.
Ah,
넉백.
I cast it for
딜하지
the
마.
knockback. That's good, it's because that means while in the air I can cast instant spells. And here, theoretically, I can just start the ramp up, tyrant ramp up, because it's 424, blah blah blah. Or I mean, actually, a little too early. So I mean, I can be moving for 3 seconds to inside and then use the setup. But what I chose to do is instead hold the setup. Yeah, I might lose tyrant cooldown. I might not be using the tyrant off cooldown right away, but this is the moment where it's very hectic, at least, and where you don't want to mess up because everybody did well. So what I plan to do, what I choose to do here is always use the dogs, and then when the dogs come up, that's when I will do the tyrant setup. Even though theoretically, I could be just using 3 seconds window to move to the inside and then use the tyrant setup right away. That's not what I chose to do because it's a little bit hectic and yeah.
아, 쭉 뛰어. 위에다. 벡터 해제줘.
Tyrant dogs. Never mind.
폭탄 챙겨.
This is where you want to use your portal. Teleport.
넉백 준비해라.
Portal. Pick up.
준비.
폭탄 붙여봐.
넉백. 폭탄 챙겨.
This is the whole point of it.
자리
So that because our pre-planned positioning during the second phase, during the third phase was here. Maybe a little bit here. Yeah, a little bit to the left more. But it really doesn't matter because we can just somebody can pick up the bomb and move a little bit to the left, and then next time I pick up the bomb, I move a little bit to the left. It really doesn't matter because right now after the knockback, Halondrus, there's no mechanic. There's no mechanic. You have like about, I don't know, 7 seconds of free DPS window. Okay, so there's nothing to worry about right now other than doing the bomb well.
잡어. 블러드. 물약.
Okay, now I can go on with the tyrant setup. Even though I have 2 demonic core, it's just what it is. But I guess what I could have done was doing the shadow bolts instead of using the
폭탄
demonic
챙겨.
core. Here I think again more ideal thing. Again, I guess I'm a little impatient or not that experienced in demo, because the better rotation would have been using 3 shadow bolts here. But what I did was 1 shadow bolt and 1 demonic core. That means I'll be going on with the tyrant setup with 2 demonic core. However, if you were to cast 3 shadow bolts, you'll be going on with the tyrant setup with 3 stacks. Plus your dogs are gonna be up right at the perfect time.
자리 잡어. 블러드. 물약.
Yep. So a little bit, not that great. Now, what I want to pay attention to is the usage of Ruby because it has the travel time. And we did Bloodlust, so that means I'll be finishing my Tyrant setup much sooner. So that means I also need to cast Ruby sooner.
폭탄 실수하지 마. 미리 들어
Yeah, I
미리.
used my ruby.
마지막까지
I
해야 돼.
told my priest to PI me because I know that it's gonna be done soon, very soon anyway.
네, 0%까지.
Now here I used Tyrant, but my last hand of Gul'dan gave me Demonic Core. I didn't expect that, but I guess what I could have done was after I finished that last hand of Gul'dan, kind of just wait a little bit because I have lots of time. I have 8 seconds, 6 seconds, 4 seconds. Just I have a lot of time. I didn't have to rush Tyrant, but again, I'm a little bit inexperienced in phase 3. Not completely inexperienced, but I feel little. I don't feel as easy as phase 1 or phase 2. So yeah, what the better play would have been just wait half a second. So yeah, I did 9im Tyrant, but it could have been 11im. So that sucks. But the timing of the ruby, timing of the power infusion, perfect. There's nothing wrong. And use potion, yep, good. Always stand in the Dreamweaver ground. I'm moving forward to the Dreamweaver ground while the Halondrus pushes me back. Right at the time when I'm using the Demonic Core, okay, so that I'm not losing DPS while moving. Yeah, just to be safe, I moved back a little bit. And again, I picked up the bomb at the like yellow duration here because I was worried that this thing would activate when I wanted to pick up. So I just picked up in advance, a little bit early, a little bit sooner. But it's not bad at all because I don't have the debuff up, and it's just it doesn't matter. You have actually quite a lot of time on the bomb. You don't have to pick up at the last 2 seconds. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, okay, so the rotating thing activated like around this area, so it wasn't gonna be any influential. It wasn't gonna matter at all. But just to be safe, I guess. Because
미사일.
I'm not like 100% experienced.
중에 미사일 들어.
And then start pack. No, okay. You see, yeah, I'm not. Okay.
나 힐 좀 줄래?
At this point, you just, the hand of go down dogs.
L은 챙겨줘요.
Again,
잘
just to
봐.
be safe, I
생겼어.
picked up earlier, sooner. And here, I think the better play, what I should have done is,
L은 챙겨줘요.
after picking up this bomb, I think what I should have
생겼어.
done is, put your point of view a little to the boss more, because you see the tank is pointing their razor like around my area, so I need to be aware if there are any orbs that haven't been cracked. So if like if there's an orb here and it's about like this position and it hasn't been cracked, that means the tank will aim the razor this row, this column, so I need to pay attention if any of the orbs has been orbs that are around me, around my columns, if they have been uncracked. Okay, so I think the better play would have been putting my point of view a little to the boss more. But then again, the the missile was gonna come up, so keeping my mind on the ground is also good. But still, you should have looked at the boss more, so that you see, you can anticipate if the razor was going to be pointed at your position. See, it's not really that good. Okay, dropping of the bomb is fine, and that's fine. Okay, now I saw the boss. Now I know that my boss doesn't have to aim the razor at my position. At least he's not forced to, so it's fine. 13 seconds on Tyrant, 3 seconds on dogs. There are 6 8 giving me that possibility of granting me demonic core. So again, the better play, the best play I think would have been just using 3 shadow bolts. But again, that's just me like not being experienced with phase 3. I'm not like comfortable right now. So yeah, I fuck up. Okay. Maybe I can do 9 aim. Yeah. Okay, that's 8 aim. I still got lucky with 8. It would have been definite like 6. But again, it's just me not doing well in phase 3, not being comfortable. That's what I want to say. It's not the best play. I should have been using Shadow Bolts from way earlier instead of using Demonic Core. That's fine. That's fine again because I'm gonna have 3 Demonic Core from the dogs anyway. So using this one last bit, it's not too bad of an idea because there's also a chance that 9 imps plus, 12 imps would give me the Demonic Core.
에른체
Yeah, this is not bad right now, but from now on, what I should have done was not use a Demonic Core and just use Shadow Bolts and Hand of Gul'dan the whole time.
기다려봐.
Okay,
탱을 써.
Hand of Gul'dan is fine, but no, don't use Demonic Core here. This is where I fucked up. This is where I should have been using Shadow Bolts. Okay, the Shadow Bolts. No, see, this is where I fucked up. Even before this, I just used Demonic Core, and I said I fucked up. But I mean, it wasn't 100% fucked up if I were not to use the Demonic Core just right now. I really need to use Shadow Bolts. The point in time where I really need to use
기다려봐.
Shadow Bolts
탱을 써.
instead was here. This is the point in time where I should have spammed Shadow Bolts. This right here, Shadow Bolts, okay? 4 Shadow Bolts. Use 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you have 5 shards with 3 Demonic Core, possibly 4. By the time you finish casting Shadow Bolts, your timer will be on like what? 14 seconds cooldown. This will be up. Fine. Yeah. I fucked up. Yeah, bad. That's the wrong rotation, by the way. But yeah, as far as the mechanics go, Halondrus mechanics, you don't have to do anything. Literally, this is the point in time where the tanks and the melee DPS carries, and you're just kind of like, yeah, just having that very easy tasks. All I have to do is make sure that a tank won't be pointing Razor at my position, do the bombs, don't get hit by that rotating thing. That's all you have to do. Super easy. You don't have to move at all unless the tank needs to point Razor at your position. And obviously keep an eye on your bomb. That's so easy. You don't have to do anything in this phase.
마지막
이거 다
무조건
써봤잖아.
뽑아. 이번에 생각도 하고 무조건 다 뽑아. 무조건 다 뽑아. 무사일.
이번에 모든 걸 다 써요.
Doesn't matter.
폭탄만 튕겨.
That's fucked up. I fucked up there.
이번에 모든 걸 다 써요.
Well, what I should have done was use the unending result. It's just me being a bad player.
폭탄만 튕겨.
I used health potion instead.
폭탄
폭탄.
챙겨.
생석 침을 안 먹은 사람 먹어.
폭탄 챙겨. 들어. 폭탄 들어.
구슬 폭탄 봐. 구슬 폭탄 봐.
I'm moving forward to like use the
당황해.
potion. It was gonna
욕할
die.
뻔했잖아. 자기 지금 방금 욕했어.
죽은 거야.
야, 이 새끼야.
짜증내.
내가 욕하지 말라 그랬지.
So that's it.
와.
와, 근데 에른스트 벡터 진짜 잘 버텼어요. 딸피로
Little bit
엄청
salty.
버텼다.
10th place.
그 마지막까지 치면서 이거
But you see like
스페어님
0%,
스페어님 왜
99th
죽었어?
percentile.
아, 막
But
치다
that's
구슬이
how
좀 많이
things
모이긴
are.
했지 거기. 잘했어요.
아.